All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the After Hours Gaming League. Very shortly, we're going to go into Game 3 of Facebook versus Cisco. We saw Cisco last game with a really great comeback, using sort of a coin flip kind of strategy, a DT strategy, to take his Terran opponent down. What a great play there by Megabob. Now we're going to go into this next game, and this next game is featuring what many would say is Facebook's best player, John Oldman. John Oldman going 11-0 in Season 2 of the After Hours Gaming League, I believe. My name is DrZealot, and we're going to go straight into this game, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and go into the game. All right, let's introduce the players down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Representing Team Facebook, he is the one, the only, Orange Zerg, John Oldman. And up here, in the top right-hand corner, he is the handsomest and the most handsomest Protoss that I have ever seen. I don't know if that's actually true, but he is representing Team Cisco. He is the red Protoss, John Jelly. I've seen John Oldman play quite a lot, so a little bit about John Oldman's style. He's very macro-oriented. Some would say that he has a very chef-like play. So I expect quite a bit of macro play out of him, quite a bit of a reactionary play out of him, and the Zerg race caters very well to that style of play. Meanwhile, our play John Jelly, I don't know too much about, but I do know that he is a very formidable player here in the A League of the After Hours Gaming League. And oh my gosh, look at that blocking! Oh my goodness, blocking the spawning pool with the probe. That's next level play right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't block the hatchery, go block the spawning pool. Just blocking it for just an extra second gives him that edge that he might need. Now taking a look at the map here, if you're unfamiliar with this map, this is Howling Peaks. It is a standard map in Heart of the Swarm. And as you may notice, the main and the natural actually look very familiar. It looks a lot like what you might see as a dual site type of map here. So a lot of players, especially Protoss, really favor having sort of an in-base expansion here, where you make a wall to the ramp with your buildings. You do have sort of a wide gap here and a small choke here. But it's really questionable what you want to take as your third. It can be difficult. This third is a little closer. It's a little tucked back. You do have the gases on the top side, so they're a little more protected. But there's many routes to get there. You can go up from the ramp here. You can go from this side. It's very wide open. Meanwhile, taking a look over here, you can see that this is a lot more difficult to get to. There are rocks here. There's a collapsible rock tower, so you can go over here, destroy this collapsible rock tower, and take this as your third and be very safe for at least a little while until those rocks get destroyed. But even so, all sorts of shenanigans can happen in here because this is very open. Now taking a quick look at the vision, John Oldman just has complete map control at this point. Using the double Overlord to get his Overlords in position for scouting later in the game. I like that move by John Oldman. And John Jelly going ahead and throwing the Cybernetics Core down here in the natural, where it can be protected a little better by the Photon Cannon and add a little bit to his Sim City. I like that as well. Now, one of the great things about Heart of the Swarm, and especially maps like this where you have sort of an open-air ridge where it makes it very easy for the Zerg to place Overlords here, is that you can get the Mothership Core as soon as you finish the Cybernetics Core, and it's pretty cheap. Oh, we do have a Zergling run by here. It is going to get at least one probe. 2 probes are going to go down, but now this Photon Cannon is going to be in range. DrZealot's got to be careful of that. He does have a Zealot coming out to help him protect that mineral line. As I was saying, the Mothership Core can come out here, and it can give Protoss players a little bit of a better early air advantage, whereas in Wings of Liberty, they really can't deal with these Overlords at all. Stalkers just don't quite have the range to get to them out here, so if you want to deal with Overlords and pick them off the map, go ahead, grab that Mothership Core. It's only 100. It's not too expensive. Oh, and look at this. John Oldman deciding to go ahead and put that Overlord in the base. He wants to see everything that's going on. And in fact, it looks like he's going to bait these across the map here. He only has 3 Zerglings here. In fact, taking a look at John Oldman's units, he doesn't have much at all. He just has a few Queens. If DrZealot smells this, he might just go for an attack and go into all-out kill mode. There's only 6 Zerglings here, 5 Zerglings. And here we go. The reinforcements are coming up here. Double Queen coming up here. And now DrZealot's going to have to go home. Even so, these are slow lings, so DrZealot really could have perhaps done something with that if he had a pylon in place and maybe a few more warp gates, but alas, he did not. Oh, and look at this. Because the Stalker was out on the map, he was not able to pick off this Overlord. This Overlord is just giving so much information right now. John Oldman knows everything that's going on in his opponent's base. Take a look at this. He sees absolutely everything. 4 gateways in total for DrZealot. And ground weapons level 1 comes up, and here it is, the Mothership Core. Now, what I would love to see this Mothership Core do is just go ahead and check these little pockets here, as well as get rid of that Overlord that he saw fly across his base. But instead, deciding that he wants to center it over here, do a little bit of scouting. But here come a number of Zerglings. These are slow links, so the Stalker can micro, but it's not going to be able to get away in time. That Stalker's going to go down. Meanwhile, this Mothership Core is going to get some free hits on the Zerglings. The Zerglings trying to do a little bit of full position micro there, and that's going to fail. John Oldman has got to get out of here. John Oldman already going up to his 3rd, of course, and dropping a macro hatch down here. That way he can pump enough units out to really get some map presence. And I love, look at this, I love this scouting here by John Oldman. He knows exactly what's going on his opponent at all times, just constantly scouting with the Overlords. Look at this, he's already moving this into an Overseer. He knows exactly what's going on. In fact, maybe a little bit of a mistake there by DrZealot not clearing that Zergling out before he decided to take his 3rd. John Oldman might react to this and go for a big attack. In fact, he's already going up to a number of Roaches and Lings. He's continuing to make Roaches. He's got 6 Roaches on the way. Meanwhile, DrZealot has gone up to double Stargate, and he's bringing in these Void Rays. Void Rays actually are much more scary now. If we take a look at the Void Ray here. In Heart of the Swarm, Void Rays have an ability called Prismatic Alignment, which gains +6 damage versus armored units for 20 seconds. So if you have a number of Void Rays, you can take down a hatchery in no time. So there's a number of different strategies that you can go for. And like I thought, John Oldman going to take this 3rd out. Such a smart play here. Maybe even if he had waited for it a little longer, he could have guaranteed that it was going to go down. But DrZealot is going to have to cancel all of this stuff. And look at this, actually, very well played here by DrZealot, deciding to not cancel it until the last second, forcing John Oldman to spend as much time taking down this 3rd as possible. He is getting up his army here. DrZealot, he doesn't want to reveal those Void Rays. He's got to get those back. But, oh, nonetheless, the Overseer is going to come in here. He's going to see everything. He does know the Void Rays are here. And I expect a reaction out of John Oldman. He actually, look at this, he already does have a Spore Crawler in the map. He has a number of Queens, double Queens here. on the map. I expect another Spore Crawler. There we go. Another Spore Crawler. But not overreacting to this. Not overreacting to this at all. Just a few extra Spore Crawlers here and there. A Spire and a Hydralisk then going down to help clean these up. But the Void Rays are here. That prismatic alignment can cause a lot of damage. And there we go. Activates it. That's going to bring down that Spore Crawler in about a second. Targeting the Queen, I don't think that's the right move to do. There are no Phoenix here to support these Void Rays, so he's got to get the damage he needs done and then get out of here. Oh no, he can't lose those Void Rays. Oh, that hurts so much. Keeping those Void Rays alive is so important. You want to make sure that you can utilize as much of these prismatic alignments as possible. He wasn't able to do that. 4 Void Rays now. He could have had 5. Seeing where he can cause some damage, going down here to the natural, and focusing down the Queens again. These Queens are a biological psionic, and they're not going to be able to cause that much damage. The Hydralisks are going to come down. He's going to lose yet another Void Ray. He's going to have to retreat. DrZealot may be in some trouble here because John Oldman has already got his 4th going. DrZealot just finishing his 3rd. And John Oldman just moving across the map, 174 supply to the 107 of DrZealot. DrZealot just falling behind at his macro, and how can he defend this? His forces are so spread out, there's no way that he can defend his 3rd. John Oldman deciding to pull all of his forces here to the 3rd. Is the defense going to be enough? The force fields are not really doing too much. The Hydralisks just do so much damage. Nula is coming in here just for kicks to take out the army of DrZealot, and DrZealot's supply is dropping rapidly. Now at 70 supply, the Mothership Core is going to fall too. Ah, that hurts so much. And even with the overcharge there on the Nexus, that's not going to help him enough. Supply 144 to 65. Can DrZealot hang on in this event, or will Facebook go 2-1? It looks like that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. These Roaches are just doing too much damage too fast, and GG! DrZealot with a really incredible match there. John Oldman, just his macro was so strong, he outpowered his opponent and eventually just brought the hammer down. Thor's hammer, that's what John Oldman brought to this fight. We're going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and when we come back, we're going to come back with Game 4 of this Best of 5 series of Facebook versus Cisco here on the After Hours Gaming League.